So if I have a schedule that has turned yellow, I would suggest selecting that. That will open up that project schedule where I can then investigate, why did that turn yellow? And I can see it right here. This task was scheduled to get started on the 19th. Well, it's past the 19th and there's no actual start date. So it didn't happen as I planned. Now it's due today, but today is not over, so it's still in the yellow. As of tomorrow, if this did not get started and completed, that health meter will now turn red. So in Workamajig, this is data. You plan and things happen to adjust that plan or adjust your actuals. The system is monitoring that for you so that if there's anything that's not happening as you intended, we want to let you know right away. We're not going to do a just straight out bucket change because that is typically not going to be the same for every time one of these health meter goes off. So rather, we're going to prompt you to take a look at the information so that you can make an informed decision for this instance of what the appropriate action, if one is even warranted, should be. To the right here, you can see we do have a Gantt view of all these projects that we're working on. The blue is the spend, and then the rest is going to be what we still have to come. And if I hover over any of those, it's going to let me know what project tasks those are and what the plan is and how far along they are. I can look at this in a couple different ways, either daily, weekly, or monthly. So giving me some options of how I might want to look at that information. And again, that was my active project board. We do also have a today for our project managers, which really is a great place for our project managers to start their day. Why I say that is because the system is designed for each project manager to tell it, what things do I want you to monitor for me and display? So when they've chosen those items, they will be displayed on their left navigation of their Today page. What open items do they want to be aware of? What things do they want the system to bring to their attention? I've got 6 assignments that are due but not done. What assignments are they? Drill into it. Who's assigned to those? Do I want some more information about that assignment? I can drill into that and see this one's due today and they haven't started yet. They still have their full allocation left. So with that, I can see how far along they are, if they've started, how much time is left before this is due. I could see if they had a to-do list, basically a checkoff list of things they needed to accomplish, how far along they might be. Have there been any conversations communicating back and forth regarding this project or task that they've been a part of? Maybe this is the chance I'm going to take to initiate that conversation because I want to know, why haven't we started yet? Do they need some help? Is there something that I can provide you to get us back on our momentum of this project? Anyone associated with that project is readily available for me to include in this communication. And when I do post this out of Workamajig, not only is it posting that into the project and the task, it's also sending out an email directly to everybody's regular email account. As they receive those emails that look just like any other email I've ever sent, they can simply reply from their phone, from their tablet, from their computer, wherever. And all of their replies not only will go back and forth via email, but each reply will also naturally come back into the system and get threaded as a historical record of communication in this project. So if I come back to this later, I'll know I reached out and what our communication results were. If I review this project later, months from now, all of the communication on these projects will remain as a historical record. You can also include clients and vendors in these contact communications. We also, again, have the Views area. The Views area is something that does show up in each of the different roles, and this, again, reminding you is all of the places that someone of this role, in this case a project manager, typically likes to pull reports about. So if a project manager wants to pull a project-related report, they might select one of their listings, choose a filter or two, run that report. They can easily drill into any of those projects to review the details. They can also distribute that report in a variety of different ways. And modification tools are provided so that you can adjust these reports to be a bit more specific to your firm's likes or wants. You can also be adding to the listing of reports and create your own, because we will provide you with the tool and every field available in this data set, so you have a huge selection and a very robust reporting building tool in each of these different areas. When you do create a report, it'll live in your listing. You can give it a new name that speaks to the intention of that new report, and you can share it with others. So if you want the whole team to have access to this report that you've created, just share it with them. It will show up on their listing too. No need to go into everybody's login and have to recreate that report over and over again. Down the middle here, you can see I do have that daily feed again. But now I'm looking across all my projects. So what's been going on all day? I don't have to go into every project or, walk over to each staff member. I can clearly see if things have been reassigned, if things have been marked completed, if other things have been added to projects. It's all right there for me. I can always drill into any of those projects if something prompts me to want to investigate further. This is also historical. The daily feed is always there. I can go back in time to any day and see exactly what happened on my projects on that day. If I start my day here and then someone rings me up and says, hey, can I create that project really quickly? I can also just go ahead and create that project straight away from here. So there's multiple places where we can launch those projects from quickly without having to always go through different screens. Workamajig also has a campaign function, which is really great if you ever do any management of really big projects, or you're doing a rebrand for a client and you have multiple deliverables, or you're doing a big event. This way, I can break the campaign up into different segments and projects, or just multiple projects, so that each of these projects can be managed more effectively by the variable people who might be working on them, and not have it all in one giant blown out schedule. I can also budget at the campaign segment and project level. So if I have a budget for the whole campaign, as we're adding projects to it, I can see how we're eating up that campaign's budget with the different projects, giving me a really good tool to also communicate with the client. So if by chance they've added another project to that campaign, which might exceed the agreed budget for that campaign, I can easily share that information with them so that we can make the decision on if we're going to up that budget and get a change order out there, or if we're going to amend adding that new project to the campaign. And those are the main components of the Project Manager section. Obviously, there's a lot more to it, but again, we want to make sure that you have a good understanding of what Workamajig can do on the daily. As people get more confident and comfortable in the system, they tend to use more of the robust features of it when they get to that point. So we're going to transition over to looking at resourcing next, because we have these projects in there. We want to make sure that we're getting people assigned to those tasks and they're being addressed in a timely fashion. So come back next time for the Resource Manager video, and we'll go over those components with you.